Hey, how's it going? Welcome to News Acc, Tuesday, 14th September 2021. We're looking for the papers. First up, New York Times. 1 million kids went back to school in New York yesterday. Best of luck. Over on the left, story about the virus in India. Over here, story about the California governor's race. Beside that, a plan to tax the rich aims at incomes, not big fortunes. They're not going to affect any billionaires like Jeff or Elon or any of those other fuckers. Down here, millions of Afghans in peril as food runs out, says the UN. USA Today, story about the FBI releasing a document where they interviewed a bunch of Saudi nationals who'd helped the hijackers on 9/11. Heavily redacted, of course, didn't make any mention of the Saudi government, which people wanted to know about for years. Story about COVID here. This guy had a double lung transplant because of it. Down there, California governor's race. Wall Street Journal, kids going back to school in New York. Tax Biden agenda. Facebook documents reveal secret elite exempt from its rules. Apparently Facebook had whitelisted a bunch of people, various celebs and VIPs who could upload whatever they wanted on the site. A little bit of a graph here. Lack of wind is a blow to Europe. There's less wind in the North Sea and it's causing the price of energy to spike there pretty quickly, as you can see. National Post from Canada. Trudeau turns on the gas light. Okay, Justin gaslighting the entire nation. Over here, Afghan embassy stuck in limbo. So the Afghan embassy in Canada has refused to recognise the new Taliban government in Afghanistan. I guess they're waiting for the federal election to take place, see what the new government says about it as to what they'll do. Grandma from Cuba, something about Paralympics. Down the bottom, quote from Fidel: "We advance with the most absolute decision in the purposes of energy saving." I'm not sure what that means. I may have translated it incorrectly, but nonetheless, thank you, Fidel. Star for South Africa, there he is, the cabbage bandit holding up his pumpkins. This story from yesterday, this guy was having a vegetable garden basically outside his front door, but you're only allowed to grow grass or flowers on public land, supposedly, so they might take him to court or fine him, put him in jail. Seems like a bit of a legend. He was feeding his community around him, his community garden. Over on the left, vaccine passport uproar. Document likened to apartheid. Of course, apartheid was actually properly in place in South Africa, so touching a bit of a raw nerve there. Tehran Times, Iran and Iraq having a conference. US invaded Afghanistan in order to loot its mineral wealth. I did not know this, but apparently Afghanistan has one of the largest lithium reserves outside of Bolivia. Jerusalem Post, Bennett was over in Egypt talking to Sisi. Looks like a nice time. Down here, there's no answer for Gaza. There is an answer. It's just you're not willing to concede it. The Hindu Assembly passes bill against NEETs. Okay, not good news for the NEET community. No going to India for you. The Australian homestays to unlock farms. That's talking about they can't get enough seasonal workers in to pick fruit because of COVID. Something about Paralympics there. Global Times from China. A delegation went over to Cambodia, unveiled this new stadium that China paid for. Good stuff. Something else about COVID there on the front. Irish Examiner, growing wealth gap in access to housing. I guess the headline could have just been growing wealth gap. Some true crime thing over on the right and the bottom. Irish Times, Galway hurling football thing, I don't know. Booster shots, political thing. Irish Independent, oh God, Garth Brooks is on the front page in denim. Holy mother of God. He's back. He's going to come back and play in Ireland. In 2014, he tried to play 5 sold-out dates at that stadium he's standing in, Croke Park. So like 400,000 people were going to descend on a small residential area of Dublin. They didn't have the licence for it. They were willing to give him 2 nights, I think. But he said, I'd only do it if there was 5 full nights for my people in Ireland. He's coming back. Love to see you. Good times. Dust off the Stetsons and the Spurs, whatever it is you wear. Irish Sun, some bullshit celeb story. Thirst Posting. Herald, football, Gaelic football, human interest. Garth Brooks. Irish World, marketing blitz to bring back Britain's visitors to Ireland. Would not recommend that given the history of British visitors to Ireland. Belfast Telegraph, Garth Brooks, football, politics. Financial Times, there's Boris in a lab for some reason. The government pulled a contract they had with some company. They were going to provide them with 300 million COVID vaccine doses, and the government pulled the contract. It's caused the stock price of the company to drop 42%. Another Boris Johnson story here. Johnson's £15 billion stupid tunnel killed off in Treasury crackdown. Boris Johnson, no joke, wanted to build a tunnel between Ireland and Scotland under the sea. Thankfully, that's dead now. The Guardian, booster jabs. There's that tennis player from the other day. Andrew Neil has quit GB News. Lovely stuff. Hope it falls apart. The Independent, 4 stories on top. GB News, Brexit, inheritance, football. Something here about Dominic Gove making speeches littered with sexism, racism and homophobia. Like, yeah, he's a Tory, so what? No one cares. Daily Telegraph, there's Boris with his mother, Charlotte Maria Offlow Johnson Val. She died yesterday, rest in peace. Vaccinations for kids. The Times, there's that tennis player again, over 50 booster jabs. Daily Express, jabs for kids. COVID, tennis player. Daily Mirror, jabs. Daily Mail, why I'm appalled that bondage is the new black. Oh, good times. Must get into that. Return to the Doom Squad. This argument maybe lockdowns coming back when the case number rises. There's that tennis player on the left. iNewspaper, vaccines for kids, tennis player, something about a dog. Daily Star, story here about an Extinction Rebellion offshoot. They yesterday blocked one of the busiest motorways in England, the M25. And what they're protesting about is that they want the government to insulate every home in Britain to save on emissions and to keep people warm and stop old people dying in the winter, which always happens. But the Daily Star, of course, have gone, posh morons cause road chaos as normal folk try to get off to work. So trying to play the class card somehow, but what they're proposing will create hundreds of millions of jobs for working class people. So I guess it doesn't have to make sense to be on the front of the Star, does it? The Metro, there's that girl in New York again, 12-year-olds to get jabbed. Hey, Julian Assange is still in jail without a fair trial or due process, rotting away in a maximum security prison, the highest security level in the whole of Britain, Belmarsh Prison. If you have time, maybe write a letter to those people, let them know how you feel about it, something like that. Not that I think it'll make a difference, but it could be quite therapeutic. I do it most days. Alright, if you want to stay off corporate, social, state media, just click the link in the description. Thanks, good luck.